Shabbat Shalom. The next new moon is January 5th to January 6th at sunset. And Passover this year is going to be April 18th to April 19th, sunset to sunset. And also the last day of Passover, Feast of Unleavened Bread, is going to be April 24th to April 25th. All right, we're coming with the Torah portion. Vayechi or Vayechi, dealing with Jacob, Yaakov, and our ancestors, the 12 tribes of Israel, the 12 sons of Israel, all the way down, going to chapter 50, with the death of our father Jacob. So his death is what we're dealing with this week. Yeah. So we'll deal with with our father Jacob and the 12 tribes coming into Israel. Coming into Africa. Y yo no he olvidado Marciala. Yo no he olvidado. Yo voy a empezar, no hoy, pero voy a empezar a hacer las presentaciones también en español o en las dos idiomas, español y inglés, or inglés. Okay, and so the first portion is going to be, the first aliyah is going to be chapter 47, verse 28 through chapter 48, verse 9. Yaakov lived, and what I'm going to do is read it and then give a short summary to explain what the meaning is to what I read. And Jacob lived in the land of Egypt 17 years. And the days of Jacob, the years of his life, were 147 years. The time approached for Israel to die. So he called for his son, for Joseph, Yahweh, and said to him, "Please, if I have found favor in your eyes, please place your hand under my thigh and do kindness and truth with me. Please do not bury me in Egypt, for I will lie down with my fathers, and you shall transport me out of Egypt and bury me in their tomb." He said, "I personally will do as you have said." He replied, "Swear to me." And he swore to him. Then Israel prostrated himself toward the head of his bed. Kalashara the body Yahweh na Aisha wa na Shemai. All that Yahweh had said, what we doing here. And it came to pass after these things that someone said to Joseph, "Behold, your father is ill." So he took his two sons, Manasseh and Ephraim, with him. Jacob was told, "Behold, your son Joseph has come to you." So Israel exerted himself and sat up on the bed. Jacob said to Joseph, "El Shaddai, God Almighty, had appeared to me in Luz in the land of Canaan, and he blessed me. He said to me, Behold, I will make you fruitful and numerous. I will make you a congregation of nations, and I will give this land to your offspring after you as an eternal possession. And now your two sons, who were born to you in the land of Egypt before my coming to you in Egypt, shall be mine. Ephraim and Manasseh shall be mine, like Reuben and Simeon. But progeny, descendants born to you after them, shall be yours. They shall be included under the name of your brothers with regard to their inheritance. But as for me, when I came from Padan, Rachel died on me in the land of Canaan on the road. while there was still a stretch of land to go to Ephrath, and I buried her there on the road to Ephrath, which is Bethlehem. Then Israel saw Joseph's sons and said, Who are these? And Joseph said to his father, They are my sons, whom Elohim has given me here. And he said, Bring them to me, if you please, and I will bless them. So the main things we see in this are the death of our mother Rachel. Okay, we see Rachel's death, and we see that Jacob doesn't want to be buried in Africa, in the land of Egypt. He wants to be buried in the land where Abraham and Isaac and Sarah and Rebecca are buried. And then he's giving out the blessing, but when he gives the blessing out, he gives the blessing to Ephraim and Manasseh to inherit the land, just like Reuben and Simeon are going to inherit land. So this shows us that he changes the normal way of doing things and says they're going to have inheritance just like Ephraim has inheritance, or just like Reuben has inheritance, or just like Simeon has inheritance. So you got to see like he's giving them other land, all right? But he doesn't go into the specifics. He's going to go into the specifics in the next next couple of chapters, all right? So we got chapter 48, verse 10 through 16. Mardia.
Amar ban Parazah ban Gad ban Yash'Allah.
Amanwa, Barakwa.
Yabaraka Kam Yahweh Bashem Yahushai.
Yabaraka Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. I gotta make sure you start. Verses 10 through 16.
Now Yash'Allah's eyes were heavy with age. He could not see.
Let's see. You try to stand up. Just bring your eyes down. You see? Okay.
So he brought them near him, and he kissed them and hugged them. Yash'Allah said to Joseph, I dared not accept the thought that I would see your face. And here Elohim has shown me even your offspring. Joseph then removed them from his knees, and he prostrated himself with his face toward the ground. Joseph took the two of them, Ephraim with his right hand to Yash'Allah's left, and Manasseh with his left to Yash'Allah's right. And he drew close to him. But Yash'Allah extended his right hand and laid it on Ephraim's head, though he was younger, and his left hand on Manasseh's hand. He maneuvered his hand for Manasseh was the firstborn. He blessed Joseph and said, O Elohim, before whom my forefathers Abraham and Isaac walked, Elohim who shepherds me from my inception until this day, may the angel who redeems me from all evil bless the lads, and may my name be declared upon them, and the names of my forefathers Abraham and Isaac, and may they proliferate abundantly like fish within the land.
Explain to us. Just brief, not rereading, but just give us an understanding about it.
Joseph went to his father, and Yash'Allah, he didn't think that he would see Joseph, and Joseph, he took Ephraim and Manasseh, and he put his
Yeah,
right
look at us when you're talking, man. You look at the book. We want to talk to you. Go ahead.
he put Ephraim in his right hand and Manasseh in his left hand. And
How do you listen if you don't count? Are you listening? How do you count and listen? What did you just say? Hmm? What? What did you say?
and he put Ephraim in Manasseh's head and Yashalah's hands. And then he blessed Joseph. Yashalah blessed Joseph.
You basically just like, what does that all of that mean now? Does it mean anything? Or it's just words on the page? What does it mean? All right, next year. We go to the Sabbath now.
Parashah Parashah Parashah
Umaga,
Yabrak Kamihal Bashimi Al Shai.
Every Sabbath we go do the same thing, man. Y'all get up there and read, and then it's time to explain what you read. Everybody just sitting there silent.
Joseph saw that his father was placing his right hand on Ephraim's head, and it displeased him. So he supported his father's hand to remove it from upon Ephraim's head to Manasseh's head. And Joseph said to his father, "Not so, father, for this is the firstborn. Place your right hand on his head." But his father refused, saying, "I know, my son, I know. He too will become a people, and he too will become great. Yet his younger brother shall become greater than he, and his offspring's fame will fill the nations." So he blessed them that day, saying, By you, Yasha'Allah, by you shall Yasha'Allah bless, saying, May Elohim take you like Ephraim and like Manasseh. And he put Ephraim before Manasseh. And Yasha'Allah said to Joseph, Behold, I am about to die. Elohim will be with you, and will bring you back to the land of your fathers. And as for me, I have given you Shechem, one portion more than your brothers, which I took from the hand of the Amorite with my sword and with my bow. Parashah, Vayechi, not Aisha, Shema. All Yahweh said,
What
what are we doing here? Jacob had his right hand on Ephraim's head, which was the younger, and his left hand on Manasseh's hand, which was the older. And Joseph didn't like that, because when you were about to bless somebody, you're supposed to bless the older one more, give them more of inheritance. So Joseph switched Jacob's hand so that his left hand was on Ephraim's and his right hand was on Manasseh's. And he told him that that was how it's supposed to be. But Jacob said that he knew that and put them back where they were at before.
Jacob's like, I'm old, man, but I'm not that old. I know what I'm doing.
And he said that Manasseh would become a nation, but Ephraim would become a bigger nation, a greater nation, like how it was with Esau and Jacob when his fathers blessed them. Jacob was younger than Esau, but he got the blessing that Esau was supposed to get, which was when Esau was older than him.
And Isaac and Ishmael too.
Isaac and Ishmael too. And Jacob said to Joseph that he was about to die, and he said that he gave Joseph Shechem, which was one more portion than the rest of his brothers, and that was the language he took from the Amorites with his sword, and with his bow.
Parashah ban Zayatan ban Gad ban Yashala.
Barak.
Yabaraka Kam Yahweh Bashim Yahushua.
Barak Yahweh Bashim Yahushua.
You forgot to say that portion was Ephraim getting one territory from the 12 tribes inheritance, and then Manasseh got 2 territories on the east side and the west side of the Jordan River. Left out that part. So chapter 49, verses 1 through 18. Then Jacob called for his sons and said, assemble yourselves, and I will tell you what will befall you in the end of days. Gather yourselves and listen, O sons of Jacob, and listen to Israel, your father. Reuben, you are my firstborn, the strength and my initial vigor, foremost in rank and foremost in power, like water impetuosity. You cannot be foremost, because you mounted your father's bed. Then you desecrated him who ascended my couch. Simeon, and Levi are comrades. Their weaponry is a stolen craft. Into their conspiracy may my soul not enter. With their congregation do not join. O my honor, for in their rage they murdered people, and in their whim they hamstrung an ox. Accursed is their rage, for it is intense, and their wrath, for it is harsh. I will separate them in Jacob, and will disperse them in Israel. Judah, your brother shall acknowledge. Your hand will be at your enemy's nape. Your father's sons will prostrate themselves to you. A lion cub is Judah. From prey, my son, you elevated yourself. He crouches, lies down as a lion, and like a lioness, who dares rouse him? The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until Shiloh come, and to him will be the gathering of the people. He will tie his donkey to the vine branch his donkey's foal. He will launder his garments in wine, and his robe in the blood of grapes, red-eyed with wine and white-toothed from milk. Zebulun shall settle by seashores. He shall be at the ship's harbor, and his last border will reach Zidon. Issachar is a strong-boned donkey. He rests between boundaries. He saw tranquility, that it was good, and the land, that it was pleasant. Yet he bent his shoulder to bear, and he became an indentured laborer. Dan will avenge his people. The tribes of Israel will be united as one. Dan will be a serpent on the highway, a viper by the path that bites the horse's heel, so its rider falls backward. For your salvation do I long, O Yahweh. Okay. So Reuben is the native peoples to Florida. Simeon is Dominican Republic. Levi is Haiti. They're divided on the island of Hispaniola, also called Quisqueya, with the west side being called Haiti, which is a native word that means mountainous. Judah is the so-called Black Americans that came to America in slavery and captivity. And the prophecies fit them. Zebulun is going to be the indigenous peoples in Central America and the most southern parts of Mexico. Issachar is going to be Mexico in general. Dan is going to be the red and the black Caribs of the Eastern Caribbean, the indigenous people that were already there. All right. So next is 19 through 26.
Amar ben Parzad ben Gad ben Ash'ala.
Aymadwa, Barakwa,
Yavrak Kami Hal Bashem Yahshai.
Yabak Hao Bashem Yahushai. Just read through it, then come back and say who the tribes are.
God will recruit a raiment, and it will retreat on his heel. From Asher,
Regiment.
God will recruit a regiment, and they will retreat on his heel. From Asher, his bread will have richness, and he will provide kingly delicacies. Naphtali is a hind let loose, who delivers beautiful sayings. A charming son is Joseph, a charming son to the eye. Each of the daughters climbed, heights to gaze. They embittered him and became antagonists. The arrow-tongued men hated him, but his bow was firmly emplaced, and his arms were gilded. From the hands of the mighty power of Jacob, from there he shepherded the stone of Yash'ala, that was from the Alhayim of your father, and he will help you. And with Shaddai he will bless you with blessings of heaven from above, blessings of the deep crouching below, blessings of the bosom and womb. The blessings of your father surpass the blessings of my parents to the endless bounds of the world's hot hills. Let them be upon Joseph's head and upon the head of the exile from his brothers.
That's it.
Guys, the Native Americans. Asher are from the people in South America, and Tali is
Keep going.
Joseph is people from Ephraim is from Puerto Rico, and Manasseh is Cuba.
That's it, right? And explain anything that he didn't explain. First is before.
Naphtali is the people and
Who you talking to? The book. Us.
Naphtali is the people in Argentina and Chile.
All right. You go in chapter 20, verse 27, all the way to 50:20.
Benjamin is a predatory wolf. In the morning he will devour prey, and in the evening he will distribute spoils. All these are the tribes of Yasha'Allah, 12, and this is what their father spoke to them, and he blessed them. He blessed each according to his appropriate blessing, and then he instructed them, and he said to them, I shall be gathered to my people. Bury me with my fathers in the cave that is in the field of Ephron the Hittite, and the cave that is in the field of Machpelah, which faces Mamre in the land of Canaan, which Abraham bought with the field from Ephron the Hittite as a burial estate. There they buried Abraham and Sarah his wife, and there buried Isaac and Rebekah his wife, and there I buried Leah. Purchase of the field and the cave within it was from the sons of Heth. When Jacob finished instructing his sons, he drew his feet onto the bed, and he expired and was gathered to his people. Kal Shirah, Bar Yahweh, Na'isha, Wanashemai. Allah Yahweh said, what are we doing here? Then Joseph fell upon his father's face. He wept over him and kissed him, and Joseph ordered his servants and physicians to embalm his father. So the physicians embalmed Yasha'Allah. His 40-day term was complete, for such is the term of the embalmed. And Egypt bewailed him for 70 days. When his bewailing period passed, Joseph spoke to Pharaoh's household, saying, If you please, if I have found favor in your eyes, speak now in the ears of Pharaoh, saying, My father has adjured me, saying, Behold, I am about to die, in my grave, which I have hewn for myself in the land of Canaan. There you are to bury me. Now I will go up, if you please, and bury my father, and then I will return. And Pharaoh said, Go up and bury your father, as he adjured you. And Joseph went to bury his father, and with him went up all of Pharaoh's servants, the elders of his household, and all the elders of the land of Egypt, and all of Joseph's household, his brothers and his father's household. Only their young children, their flocks, and their cattle did they leave in the region of Goshen. And he brought them up. He brought up with him both chariots and horsemen, and the camp was very imposing. And they came to Goren Ha'atad, which is across the Jordan, and there they held a very great and imposing eulogy. And he had ordained a 7-day mourning period for his father. When the Canaanite inhabitants of the land saw the mourning in Goren Ha'atad, they said, This is a grievous mourning for Egypt. Therefore it was named Avel Mizraim, which is across the Jordan. His sons did for him exactly as he had instructed them. Sons carried him to the land of Canaan, and they buried him in the cave of Machpelah, of the Machpelah field, the field that Abraham had brought as a burial estate from Ephron the Hittite, facing Mamre. Joseph returned to Egypt, he and his brothers, and all who had gone up with him to bury his father. And after he buried his father, Joseph's brothers perceived that their father was dead, and they said, "Perhaps Joseph will nurse hatred against us, and then he will surely repay us all the evil that we did him." So they instructed that Joseph be told, "Your father gave orders before his death, saying, Thus shall you say to Joseph, Oh, please, kindly forgive the spiteful deed of your brothers and their sin, for they have done you evil. So now please forgive the spiteful deed of the servants of your fathers Elohim." And Joseph wept when they spoke to him. His brothers themselves also went and flung themselves before him and said, "We are ready for it to be your slaves." And Joseph said to them, "Fear not, for am I instead of Elohim? Although you intended me harm, Elohim intended it for good, in order to accomplish. It is as clear as this day that a vast people be kept alive." That's all. So Benjamin is the Jamaicans, people in Jamaica, and some of the people in the Caribbeans.
And the Caribbeans. The Caribbeans. What Caribbean?
Islands. And those were the 12 tribes and the blessings that Yasha spoke to them, and he blessed each one according to their blessing. And then he said he wanted to be with his people, so they buried him in the cave of Machpelah, which Abraham brought from Ephron the Hittite when he went to bury Sarah. And Abraham buried Sarah there, and Isaac and Ishmael buried Abraham there, and Isaac buried Rebekah there, and Jacob buried Leah there. And then, and when he was done blessing his sons, when he was done instructing his sons, he put his feet back onto the bed, and he died. And then Joseph fell onto his face and cried and kissed him. So then Joseph ordered his servants and the physicians to embalm his father, to embalm Jacob. And it took 40 days to embalm him. It took 40 days to embalm Jacob, because that's how long it takes for a body to be embalmed. And Egypt mourned for Jacob for 70 days. And when they were done mourning, Joseph went to Pharaoh, and he said that he would, if he found favor in his eyes.
Y'all retelling the whole thing again. We heard you read it the first time. We want to get some understanding about it now. Don't sit up here and tell the whole thing over again, man, what you just read. We understood it the first time. You're supposed to tell us some details about it or some more understanding about what you read. Not just tell us the whole story all over again in your own words, but give us some understanding about it. Don't sit up there and tell and say the whole thing all over again. Okay? Unless it's necessary to bring out the explanation that you're trying to give us.
Joseph went and asked Pharaoh if he could go to bury his father, and he did. Pharaoh let him bury his father, so they went down with his brothers and the elders, and then they left the young children and the flocks in Goshen. And then when they got there, they buried him in Machpelah. And the people that lived there, they say they noticed that it was a grievous, uh, a grievous mourning, like a sad time in Egypt. So they named that place.
You just reading the thing again, bro. Like I just told you, can you not do that? You exactly doing what I asked you not to do. You're looking at the pages, using the words that's on the page, and just telling us what you read again. But keep going, man. But stop doing that. Stop retelling it. Stop rereading it to us. Explain it to us. It's a difference between rereading and explaining.
They named that place El Mizraim. So after Joseph died, the brothers were afraid because they're afraid that just because their father died, that Joseph would go and kill them or make them their slaves because of when they threw him into the pit. But so they wanted Joseph to forgive them, and Joseph said that it was okay that even though they meant to do evil to him, that Yahweh made it turn out to be good so that he could save that whole land of Egypt.
All right. Parla ban Vayatan ban Yad ban Yashala.
Madwa, Barakwa,
Yabak Kam Yahweh Bashem Yahushai.
Yahweh.
All right, so first off, the Benjamites are the people in the West Indies Islands, the black people that came to the islands in the Caribbean in slavery. Jamaica, Trinidad, Barbados, Dominica, U.S. Virgin Islands, British Virgin Islands. Even though we're into Bahamas and Bermuda also, these are the tribes, the people that make up the tribe of Benjamin. All right. Next thing I want to address is what he read about the brothers. The brothers knew that they did evil. And this is what I mean when you explaining what you just read. We're not just we're trying to understand what we can learn from these things. These things are written for us to learn and teach. If you read in the Bible and you don't understand what you're reading enough to apply it to your life and apply it to different situations, then we're not understanding the purpose of us trying to read it every Shabbat. You understand what I'm saying? So if we looking at this scripture, we see that his brother said that, okay, well, be kind to us now that our father has died, our father is dead. That's showing that they knew they did something wrong, and they knew that they didn't talk to Joseph enough about it to know that they were forgiven before their father died. So they should have been more pressing about the situation. Like, yo, man, everything cool between us, right? Before their father died. Like, yo, everything cool between us. You forgive us, right? So we not, you're going to do something to us. When our father died, man, everything was cool. They should have made sure that everything was all right. But the way we avoid a situation like that is by not doing evil to people. By not doing evil to people, all right? We don't do evil to people. We don't have to worry about people trying to pay us back. There's a page also on Banya Yasharala on YouTube to look at the Parashah again. Matter of fact, I'll try to put the link here right now. All right, so yeah, so also when he talks about the morning, I mean, it was so many people that came up there that they had to change the name of that place. Say, yo, we got to call this place the Great Morning of Egypt, man, because all these people from Egypt came up because this guy died. So Jacob was a mighty, mighty, mighty man, and the people were so, impressed by the amount of people and the level of classiness of his funeral procession that they just said, oh, we got to call this land after this event that's going on, right here. Also showing that the nations, they were paying attention and they did notice. All right. Did you read about any other tribes besides Benjamin? All right. So chapter 50, verse 21 through 26. So now fear not, I will sustain you and your little ones. Thus he comforted them and spoke into their heart. Joseph dwelt in Egypt, he and his father's household, and Joseph lived 110 years. Joseph saw 3 generations through Ephraim. Even the sons of Machir, son of Manasseh, were raised on Joseph's knees. Joseph said to his brothers, I am about to die, but Elohim will surely remember you and bring you up out of this land to the land that he swore to Abraham, to Isaac, Yitzchak, and to Yaakov. Then Joseph adjured the children of Israel, saying, when Elohim will indeed remember you, then you must bring my bones up out of here. Joseph died at the age of 110 years. They embalmed him, and he was placed in a coffin in Egypt. Kalashara, the body of Yahweh, Na'isha, Wanashemai. All that Yahweh has said, what we doing here. Chazak, repeat, Chazak, Chazak, Wanasha Chazak. Be strong, and we may be strengthened. All right, so so Joseph said, you know what? Don't even worry about it. I'm not gonna hold a grudge against you. I'm not gonna hold a grudge against you. I'm not gonna repay you evil for the evil that you did toward me. I'm gonna be kind to you and your children. All right. And it was so many generations. It was 4 generations after Joseph until Joseph died. Ephraim, then Ephraim's sons, and then Ephraim's grandsons, and then Ephraim's great-grandsons, which is Joseph's great-great-grandsons. All right. So Joseph saw all the way to his great-great-grandsons, which is a lot of generations. So the Most High blessed him for that. And just like his father, he said, don't leave me here. I don't want to have no big old funeral for me, because I don't want y'all thinking that every time one of y'all die, y'all can have a big old funeral and go up to Egypt. Just let me chill here. And then after y'all come up, because the Most High is going to remember you. He's going to bring you out of this place. Joseph can see what was going to happen. But when you come out, don't forget me. Bring me out too. Take my bones out of here. Which shows you about when the bones, like I've said before, they take the bones, they bury the person, then their bones would, their body would kind of decompose, all right? And then they would take the bones and put them into a container. Now, it might have been a little different with Joseph because Joseph was embalmed. So they probably took Joseph's body after it had been embalmed in the way the Egyptians did it. So he was probably a little more whole. He might not have been bone. Might have been like you would call like a mummy on that level. You know what I'm saying? So they probably just then took him and, buried him once we got up there. All right, to Shechem. I think it's called now Nobulus or something like that. They call it now. All right. So that's what I mean after we read, explaining and giving details, so we can understand the purposes and understand the meaning behind what you read. All right. So Shalom Lakah, Mak, hallelujah. Appreciate the encouragement, man. We're going to the Haftarah now, which is 2 Kings chapter 2, verse 1 through 12, right? First Kings 2, verse 1 through 12. Okay. 1 Kings 2, 1 through 12. All right, so it says, David's days drew near to die, and he instructed his son Solomon, saying, I go the way of all the earth. Be strong and become a man. Safeguard the charge of Yahweh, your Elohim, to walk in his ways, to observe his decrees, commandments, ordinances, and testimonies, as it is written in the Torah of Moses, so that you will succeed in all that you do and wherever you turn, so that Hashem will uphold his word that he spoke regarding me, saying, if your children will safeguard their way, to walk before me sincerely, with all their heart and with all their soul, saying, no man of you will be cut off from upon the throne of Israel. Furthermore, as you know what Joab, son of Zeruiah, did to me. What he did to two leaders of the armies of Israel, Abner, son of Ner, and Amasa, son of Jether, whom he killed, thereby shedding blood of war in peacetime, placing the blood of war on the girdle that is on his loins and on his shoes that are on his feet. You shall act according to your wisdom, and not let his white hair go down to the grave in peace. To the children of Barzillai, the Gileadite, act with kindness, and they shall be among those who eat at your table. For so they befriended me during my fight from Absalom, your brother. Behold, with you is Shimei, son of Gerah, the Benjamite from Bakurim. He cursed me with a powerful curse on the day I went to Machanaim, but he came down to me at the Jordan, and I swore to him by Yahweh, saying, I will not put you to death by the sword. But now you are not to hold him guiltless, for you are a wise man, and you will know what you are to do to him, and are to bring down his white hair to the grave in blood. David lay with his forefathers and was buried in the city of David. Okay, the days that David reigned over Yashalah were 40 years in Hebron. Were 40 years. In Hebron, he reigned 7 years, and in Jerusalem, he reigned 33 years. Solomon sat on the throne of David, his father, and his kingship was firmly established. So at the end of when David is about to die, David basically gave to his son Solomon a hit list. These are the people that you need to kill. Because I'm going to die and I got some unfinished business that you need to take care of. So when a person died, it was usual for the person that, okay, I'm about to die. So now all the other people that I gave mercy to, take that mercy away, kill him. Him, kill him. Him, kill him. Him, kill him. Him, yeah, especially him, kill him. All these people got to die. So, I mean, Israel, kingship, rulership was ruthless business. Sometimes you had to murder. Sometimes you had to kill. And when you murdered, the Most High is going to pay you back for that murder. But when you killed, it was understandable. It was necessary. And the Most High had, rules that you had to go by. And we went by them rules. So now murdering somebody is different. We didn't murder as much from the leadership position in righteousness. Okay. So now his own son tried to come against him. And he left, and then this guy showed mercy to him. But then his Benjamite tried to get fly with him, and he said, "Okay, I ain't gonna do nothing to you yet." But then he told Solomon, "Okay, now is the time to pay him back." So Solomon was a wise king. He walked in the ways of the Most High. Solomon's sins was that he dealt with Gentile women and started to follow after their God. So David, the wise, starts to be beginning to tell Solomon, look, man, walk in the commandments of Yahweh. That's it. Walk in Yahweh's commandments, be upright, and be obedient. But the question is, how do you do that? And that's the spiritual lesson that we need to teach, that we need to help our people understand. How can you be obedient to the Torah? How can you be obedient to the commandments that Yahweh has given us? How can you get rid of that spirit that wants to do evil, that wants to go against the commandments of Yahweh? How can you do that? And that's what we're going to have to really start going into as a nation of people. Because this arguing over doctrines and who's right and who's wrong is getting ridiculous, to the point where you could be looking at one scripture and people can see it 4 different ways and do 4 different things off of that one scripture. All right. So we got to really clear that up. All right. I'm gonna give you an example. Let's take the moon. Somebody take the moon and say, "Oh, it's the crescent moon." Then somebody else say, "Oh, it's the black moon." Somebody else say, "Oh no, it's the white moon." Then somebody else say, "Oh no, it's the moon for the Sabbath." So you got 4 different doctrines that people are doing, just off the moon. Even the Sabbath now. People say, "Oh, it's sunset." Then people say, "Oh no, it's sunrise." And then people say, "Oh no, it's afternoon on Saturday." And some people say, "No, it's day to day." You see that? So you got like 3 or 4 different doctrines from the scriptures, and every man is right in his own eyes, but no man is really bringing out how he's right according to wisdom. And that's what we have to learn to do. Look at the 7 pillars of wisdom and say, this is why we understand this. We walked it through these 7 pillars, and this is the final conclusion. Okay? So now from the New Testament is John chapter 13, verses 1 through 19. Okay, now, before the feast of Passover, when Yahweh knew his hour was come, that he should depart out of this world unto the Father, having loved his own which were in the world, he loved them until the end. And supper being ended, the devil, having now put into the heart of Judas Iscariot, Simeon's son, to betray him. Yahweh, knowing that the Father had given all things into his hands, and that he was come from Yahweh and went to Yahweh, he riseth from supper and laid aside his garments and took a towel and girded himself. After that, he poured water in a basin and began to wash his disciples' feet and to wipe them with the towel wherewith he was girded. Then cometh he to Simon Peter, and Peter said unto him, Lord, dost thou wash my feet? Yahweh answered and said unto him, what I do, thou knowest not now, but thou shalt know hereafter. Peter said unto him, thou shalt never wash my feet. Yahweh answered him, if I wash thee not, thou hast no part with me. Simon Peter said unto him, Lord, not my feet only, but also my hands and my hands and my head. Yahweh said unto him, he that is washed needeth not save to wash his feet, but is clean every whit, and ye are clean, but not all. For he knew who should betray him. Therefore he saith, ye are not all clean. So after he had washed their feet, and had taken his garment, and was set down again, he said unto them, know ye what I have done to you? Ye call me Master and Lord, and ye say, well, for so I am. If I then, your Lord and Master, have washed your feet, ye also ought to wash one another's feet. For I have given you an example, that ye should do as I have done to you. Verily, verily, I say unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord, neither he that is sent greater than he that sent him. If ye know these things, happy are ye if ye do them. I speak not to all of you, to you all. I know whom I have chosen, but that the scripture may be fulfilled. He that eateth bread with me hath lifted up his heel against me. Now I tell you, before it come, that when it is come to pass, ye may believe that I am he. All right, so going into the Passover, they were eating, and then he's talking about Judas betraying him. All right, and he says that the washing represents that I'm your teacher, I'm your master, I'm your Lord, I've been humble with you, but now I'm washing your feet. I've taught you, but now I'm washing your feet to give you an example of how you're supposed to deal in humility with the people that you're teaching, but still maintain that level of being in charge of them. All right. Teaching the law, teaching about Yahweh, and teaching those things that are sound doctrine from the scripture. So Yahweh said, now you all go out, and the people that you teach, I want you to wash their feet. You know, and Peter's like, well, I don't want you to wash my feet. So Yahweh was like, if I don't wash your feet, man, I mean, you're not part of me. I'm not dealing with you. So then Peter's like, okay, well, shoot, not only my feet, man, wash my hand and my head too, so I can be even more like you. I can be even more, you know, in your footsteps. And Yahweh said, look, man, you're going extra. The feet are enough. He said, he that is washed needeth not save to wash his feet. He said, he that washes don't need to wash anything except for his feet. But it's clean every whit. So that washing his feet was symbolic that I've taught you, and now I know you humble. So now I'm passing on what I've taught you, for you, my students, to go out and make students of all people, as we see him saying to do in Matthew chapter 28. All right, so that's what we get from there. And also, the servant is not above the master. So the things that we see Yahweh doing, we should and we're supposed to be walking in those same ways. We're supposed to be trying to do those same things that we're supposed to be doing those same things that Yahweh does. Those same things that we see Yahweh walking in, that we see the Messiah walking in. We're supposed to be doing those same things. Okay? All those things that we saw him doing. And we have to arrive to a spiritual level to where we can do those things the way that he did them. But we have to have the understanding, okay, We have to have the understanding on how to do these things. And that's what we're lacking right now. We don't know. Everybody's arguing over doctrines because they don't really know how to get to Yahushua, how to get to Hamashiach, okay? All praise to Yahweh Bashem Hamashiach Yahushua. All right, so that's about all we're gonna go over today. Pretty good, man. It's what hour? Yeah, so that's pretty good timing. I did a little hour Sabbath portion, and again, the only reason we can do these Sabbath portions so quick on the Shabath is because I've been teaching them throughout the week also. So a lot of the details are done and taught throughout the week. When's that got done? What about throughout the week? All right, so a lot of these Sabbath portions, the Parashah for the Shabath, are taught throughout the week for the first 6 days. And then on the 7th day, bam, we come and just do everything. And we actually taught 7 Parashah this week. We combined the last ones, it was like 4 or 6 extra verses. Those last 7 verses from verse 21 to verse 27 of Genesis chapter 50, which is the last chapter of Genesis. So tomorrow we begin a whole new Parashah. And then with that whole new Parashah, we're going to be in the book of Exodus. All right, we're going to be in the book. We're going to be starting in the book of Exodus. Shamwath. The names. These are the names of the children of Yasharallah. So we're going to be reading that. We're going to go from, we're going to do 6 chapters. We got 6 chapters to do. Chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, up to 6 and 1. We got 5 chapters and then 1 verse from chapter 6. And we're going to start reading that tomorrow. The first portion we're going to read tomorrow for the Sabbath. All right. It's going to be Exodus chapter 1, verses 1 all the way to looks like 17. Right, 1 through 17. We're gonna read that tomorrow. So preview it, read it tomorrow. Y también vamos a tratar a empezar a enseñar la Torah algunos días en español también. Porque hay muchos hermanos que están haciendo enseñanzas en español, pero la verdad es que muchos de ellos se falta el entendimiento correcto. Muchos de ellos están imitando o copiando lo que hacen los blancos de Europa. Y los blancos de Europa no son los israelitas, los judíos verdaderos, y no tienen el espíritu correcto para enseñar y aprender y compartir la verdad de la Torah, de Hamashiach. No tienen el entendimiento correcto. Okay. Mucha de nuestra gente está nomás imitando lo que están haciendo ellos. Okay, lo que están haciendo ellos. Pero mañana vamos a empezar en el libro de Shemot, o Éxodo, el capítulo 1, versículo 1 a 17, y vamos a leer y explicar las cosas que leemos sobre las condiciones antes de la esclavitud dura de los israelitas, de los hebreos en la tierra de Egipto. ¿Ok? Ok. Y pues Eso sería todo para hoy. Y que también que sepan que el próximo día santo de la luna nueva es el 5 de enero. So the next new moon is the 5th of January to the 6th of January. De noche a noche, from night to night. Y Pesach, y the Feast of Unleavened Bread, la fiesta del pan sin levadura, is April 18th to April 19th, night to night. Del 18 de abril hasta el 19 de abril, de noche a noche, el primer día de la fiesta. And the last day, the 7th day, y el último día, el séptimo día, es el 24 al 25, noche a noche. The last day is from the 24th to the 25th, from night to night. All right, so that's what we're going to go into. Those are the holy days we have coming up, and we have to keep these holy days holy. Esos son los días que vendrán y tenemos que guardar esos días santos como días santos. All right, so Shalom will come. All right, let's Aimadwa, Aimadwa, Barakwa, Yabaraka come Yahweh by Shem Yahushai. I can't hear y'all. Yabaraka come Yahweh by Shem Yahushai. Kom Yasha Allah,
Kom Yasha Allah.
Kom Yasha Allah,
Kom Yasha Allah.
Kom Yasha Allah,
Kom Yasha Allah.
Hallelujah,
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah,
Hallelujah.
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 All right, Akwati, my Madwa. All right. All right. Aimadwa, Barakwa, Yashamar Khan Yahweh by Shem Yahushai.
Yashamar Kam Yahweh Bashem Yahushai.
Kom Yasha Allah.
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 Hallelujah.
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 All right. All right, so see y'all next time tomorrow for another lesson of the Torah, the Tawarah, from the first Aliyah of Shemot, Shamuath, Exodus chapter 1, verses 1 through 17. Shalom Lakam.